Okay, hey y'all, what ass topic are we gonna talk about today? I'm sorry, I'm gonna try a new thing where I change the intonation of my voice much more so that I get some views on YouTube Shorts because holy I'm so tired of. I'm sorry, I don't actually mean it. I just felt like yelling. No, I did mean it, but I'm just I am tired of the world we live in with this algorithm where it's like you have to actually show your whole pussy to get some clicks. Like, can we have some self-respect in this day and age of the online being a content creator? Like, I genuinely don't think it's possible. But yeah, I am gonna try to give some more pizzazz to my videos, guys. Because you know what? We're gonna have fun today, okay? I'm gonna bring the energy up. Okay, Zoloft who? Zoloft what? I'm up. I'm up naturally. I'm high on life. Okay? Please, God, keep telling yourself that. Anyways, yes. So, I'm excited because, and this might be a controversial topic, but I am going to Israel next week, hopefully, if it doesn't get blown up. But yeah, to visit some family. And I just want to make it clear this is a place where, you can be a Jew and you can love Israel, but you don't need to make it a whole political thing. Because for every single Jew, Israel has a place in their heart that is not necessarily political. Even the ones who have extreme political takes, there is always a separation. There's the Jewish people and then there's Israel. There's overlap, but the two are not the same. Just to make that clear. Anyways, I don't want to make this political at all, but I am very excited and I'm learning Hebrew because this is the closest thing I have to a culture and I'm going to take advantage of that, okay? I am a, nice Jewish girl, Jewish American princess, that is me. And yeah, you, this is my culture, okay? I don't care what anybody thinks of it, so stop being so anti-Semitic, please. But yeah, I have no idea what to talk about today, so you know what? Let's just think about the things off the top of my head. I'm going to a family therapy session today with my mom, and I'm incredibly scared. So maybe I'll talk a little bit about therapy and my journey with therapy. I love therapy. I think it's incredibly valuable. My watch just buzzed. But yeah, I think it's very important to introspect on what's going on inside your fucking head because so many people walk around God's green earth with the dumbest ideas in their head, and then they go out and then they take part in those ideas and they make them a reality, and then they make the whole average human race stupider and they make everything worse. If you don't know what I'm talking about, go to Florida and you'll experience that firsthand, okay? No, it's not a good idea to wear flip-flops to the grocery store. I'm sorry. Like on a weekday when people are working jobs, and maybe on like more of an island resort thing, maybe in the Keys, but like put those toes away. No one wants to see that. Also, what is it with old people having like toenail fungus that just never goes away? Like, is that just a thing that all old people get, or just old people who have their hogs out all day? I don't know. I'm really running out of things to talk about here. Anyways, I guess I'll talk about Israel. So there's this Mark Maron bit about how every Jew, when they touch down in Israel, it's like, you have this feeling, it's like, I'm home. Like, I don't know what it is. It might be made up, but I don't know. It's a real thing. Like, it might be just mass hysteria. My friend told me I have like religious OCD because I'm like, I'm hyper fixated on like being Jewish and loving like going to Israel and doing Jewish things. But like, it adds value to your life. It's fun. I don't know. It adds structure. It's like, and some Jewish people know what I'm talking about with like the guilt. Like, you feel like you need to keep the tradition going. I mean, because it's so old and it's like, what, this 2,000-year-old thing is going to stop with you? Because why? Because you want to go out on Saturday night and get drunk or Friday night, like with your goy friends. For what? Like all of your ancestors are just looking down on you like, what the hell was all of this for then? And you know what? They're kind of valid for that. Because what the hell are you doing here? I mean, okay, everyone has to live their own life, but like, if that's something that resonates with you, it's like, you know what, like, get your priorities in order. You know, like, I don't know. But it's a great place. It's very fun. I like it there. And it's very refreshing to be there after being a expat American Yank living in the UK for 5 years and never really finding their groove. Okay, I needed a little bit of community and acceptance. Holy because I was losing my mind being around all these pale British people with sticks so far up their asses. Okay, and they stand straight all the time. That's why. So yeah, you up if you have a problem with me loving Israel. Okay, Habibti, you have to come to Israel. It's a great time. So yeah, and forget the political stuff. I'm not taking, I'm not talking about the political stuff. It's neither here or there, okay? Okay, you, I will talk about my political stance, okay? But please still let me in the country, okay? I mean, listen, I don't fully agree. I'm not fully educated, but I don't fully agree with everything that's going on. I don't like war. I think war should be avoided at almost all costs, and more should be done to protect peace than to promote war. And, I don't think that's the general opinion of most Israelis, and that makes me sad. So that's my opinion, okay? And speaking on controversial political takes, I was talking with my friend who said she listened to my podcast, and I have friends across the entire political spectrum, okay? From absolute mega snowflake all the way to Charlie Kirk soldier, okay? And I don't judge. I can like people and disagree with their politics. And it doesn't have to get in the way of our relationship, because what the hell are we gonna accomplish? I'm not friends with them so that we can go march down on the White House on January 6th, okay? I'm friends with them because we just have good banter, we have a good time, and I like them as people. So, but my friend who voted for Trump, oh my God, she voted for Trump? No! Yes, she voted for Trump. Now, do I agree with that? Like, no. But she said, I heard you on your podcast and you said all the people who voted for Trump are stupid. And she was like, you know what? That kind of hurt my feelings. Like, it's like, oh, my friend is calling me stupid. Like, and I was like, oh, but I don't think you're stupid. But she's like, but you think all people who did what I did are stupid. And, that's mean. And it's like, I felt kind of sad. It's like, I don't want to make my friend feel sad, feel like I think they're stupid. So, I do want to express my opinion, but I was thinking, you know what, like, if I'm expressing my opinion in a way that is making people feel bad, and I don't think she's evil or a bad person for voting for Trump. I think most, or probably most of America did that. And if we're going to have a peaceful country, we're in a future for our country, we're going to have to learn how to live with these people. We can't just be calling each other names all day. That's crazy and childish. So I apologize for calling all people who voted for Trump stupid, okay? It is childish. And if I want to express my opinion, I should do it in a better and more constructive way that is going to lead us to have better attitudes towards each other, even if we disagree. Because just be like, oh, they're all stupid. That's kind of that's like the cool thing to do nowadays, but it's not cool. Like, it gets you brownie points from one team. So people kind of cater to it. And I was even catering to it, because I was thinking, most of the people probably that would listen to this are young people, and they're probably, more left leaning. So I'm going to kind of try to cater more to them. But I don't want to cater to, I don't want to add to this trend that is making everyone more and more small-minded. I want all of the liberal people to know that being friends with people who voted for Trump is okay. When it comes to the people in your family who voted for Trump and saying, oh, I don't want to even talk to you. Like, they probably just suck anyways. Because, okay, I'm going to be real. Like, I know people who voted for Trump who are cool, but I feel I'm going to do a little stereotype here. I'm going to do a little discrimination right here. But I feel like a lot of the older people who like Trump happen to also be really annoying as humans. So, and then it doesn't help their case for them to also like Trump, because a lot of the time they can like Trump for the wrong reasons. Or maybe even the people I like, who I enjoy being around, who are funny, who voted for Trump, maybe they voted for Trump for the wrong reasons, but they're usually the younger people I know who voted for Trump are chill and fun to be around. So I don't know. Like, so if you're saying there's some old geezer in your family who you want to stop talking to because they voted for Trump, maybe it's not just that. Maybe we should say we don't want to talk to you because you generally suck as a person. And yeah, okay, like let's try to leave politics out of it. Like, it doesn't make you any better of a person to discriminate against someone for their political beliefs. Okay? Let me say that again for the people in the back. It does not make you a better person for discriminating against another for their political beliefs, okay? Judging people for, those kinds of things it's not always the best move. Just because someone voted for Trump, I mean, I probably would have said, yeah, they did contribute to an outcome I didn't want. And yeah, okay, I have some anger about that. But also, what is that going to accomplish? Nothing. It's just going to alienate them more, and it's going to encourage the parties to split and become more and more polarized. So there's no point. We both, on both sides, we both want what's best for the country. So let's try to come together rather than, be dicks to each other all day. So what do you guys think about that? Leave a comment if you think that everyone who voted for Trump should be called stupid and you think that's valid, okay? Sorry, I'm trying to get some more engagement here, y'all. It's a struggle. Guys, please leave a hate comment if you think I look ugly today, please. Any men on YouTube Shorts right now, if there's anything negative you have to say about me being Jewish, please leave it down below right now. I'd really appreciate that. Anyways, therapy. I've gone to therapy for over 10 years, and a lot of it was pleasant. Was it worth $100 an hour or however much? Probably not. Probably the majority of it wasn't. It definitely did help me in a lot of ways. It helped teach me things I never would have learned without it. My last therapist pressured me to learn how to ride a bike. I wouldn't have done that unless, I had the drive in me to do it out of spite to him, because he was kind of annoying me. He was like, "You don't know how to ride a bike? Go learn how to, why don't you?" And I was like, I don't want to. He was like, "No, that's crazy." And he was completely right. But learning how to ride a bike as an adult is an incredibly humbling experience, let me tell you. I mean, it took me overall about 30 minutes, but I was in Regent's Park, and there was strangers walking by watching a grown woman, stumbling over on a bike, on my tiptoes. My crotch was being destroyed by this Boris bike in public. And I had my ex-boyfriend holding me, and then just me screaming and failing at pedaling and almost crashing into people's wiener dogs. I almost cried once. I cried in the bathroom before getting on the bike. That was a horrible day, but it ended up all right. It was good. But yeah, there's many skills like that. I was able to be pushed to do things I was scared to do because my therapist told me, "Why the hell are you scared? This is dumb." And I was like, wait, you know what? You're completely right. I was scared of way too many things that I did not need to be afraid of. And that's a result of helicopter parenting or having anxious parents. You can become, unreasonably afraid of things, but you're not aware of how unreasonable your fear is. You think it's justified because you kind of grew up with, being sheltered from things that wouldn't have actually hurt you so bad. And when you get hurt, you like kind of overreact and you think this is like the end of the world, but really like you're more resilient than you think. So that was a huge lesson I learned from therapy. That is very, very important. I think the resilience is the biggest thing that I learned. And also how to question yourself, because it's very, very easy to go through life making lots of decisions, even if you think you're a self-analytical person, to never question anything you do. So how many of you guys have been through therapy? I don't know how common of a thing it is, like, but a lot of times people will surprise me that they have done it or they're in it now. I'm like, wow. But then I hear about what they do in therapy and I'm like, oh, you don't do anything hard. You, because I had the kind of therapy that was actually very difficult and a lot of it sucked. And I've had the easy therapy. Is one of them better than the other? I think it depends on the person and it depends where you're at in life. Like if you're making a bunch of stupid decisions and generally being stupid, you should probably have the more difficult kind of therapy because you need to be told, hey, stop being a stupid idiot. But, you know, if you're generally trying your best and just struggling, maybe you just need to hear some kind words. Be like, you know, like you have worth. You deserve better. And then you need to cry like a baby, okay? And then you walk out being like, okay, I love myself. Despite everything, I love myself. I'm gonna try my best because I care. So I am very afraid to do this therapy with my mom because I've done couples therapy with my ex. And even though we broke up, I think that was one of the most beneficial things I have ever done in my life. Oh my God. I learned so much in just a couple weeks of couples therapy that I never would have learned outside of it. Because especially in couples therapy, if your parents didn't have the best relationship or you didn't understand how the relationship functioned or didn't function or if they're divorced, you need to do couples therapy because you learn in there that no one will ever teach you outside of it and that a lot of adults really don't understand. Most people do not understand the first thing about how to have a relationship that isn't a garbage fire with a ticking time bomb attached to it, okay? I mean, it really helped point out, you know, where both of us were being immature. It helped point out our individual kind of shortcomings in a constructive way, in a way where, you know, you could see it, accept it. You don't get, you can manage it and then you can like move on. Like there were things pointed out about how immature I was being that I never would have realized outside of the therapy. You know, like I didn't know why I felt this need to control everything that my boyfriend was doing. And I didn't really take the time to reflect on it because my brain was like, no, we don't want to think about that because that's hard. So we're going to just think about them and all the things they're doing wrong and not like, oh, why is this like tormenting me in the first place, even though it is the most obvious thing in the world. So yeah, it was very important. And it helped, you know, manage the breakup so that it's not, you know, any worse than it needed to be, which is awesome. So I would do couples therapy whenever. I would do it before you get any problems, just to like, as like a crash course on like how to have good communication, especially when it comes to like getting help with building the practical elements of the relationship, like getting advice on how to, you know, handle money situations. Like for me, it's a nightmare because I have more money than like everyone I meet, every guy. So it's like, how do I handle, you know, that power imbalance without making the guy feel emasculated, without, you know, overstepping any boundaries? Because it's kind of easy when you do have the power to kind of brush off other people's wants because you're just focused on you and what you need to do to hold up your own fort. So you know, it's a thing. Thank God for my therapist that told me, oh, you know, rich people have less empathy. And I was like, oh, that sucks to hear because it's really me. It's so hard for me to not have empathy. Oh, can you feel bad for me? Yeah, no, but I hate that because it's it's so embarrassing. It's like, oh, you don't have as much empathy as you should. Because like for some reason I feel like I really do have empathy, but it's like, no, you need to be better. Like this is bad. And then it's like, oh yeah, you're a bad person when you don't have enough empathy. So it's like, yeah. But thank God he told me for real, because then, you know, I could be aware and work on it so I don't, you know, come off like too much of an to people, which is good. Probably not doing that so well on this podcast thing, but yeah. By the way, I'm trying to make this kind of like Bill Burr's like Monday morning podcast thing where you just like sit down and ramble, except for I'm not anywhere near as funny at the moment. Sorry about that, guys. I'd really want to be funnier, but you know, I'm having a rough time. I'll try harder to be your personal clown, okay? Next time. But I think I'm gonna stop it here. Hope you enjoyed. I'll see you on the next one, hopefully tomorrow. I think I skipped yesterday. You, shut up. I don't care. I got a lot going on. Okay, I'm gonna go. Goodbye. This was For Context with Mademoiselle Sarah Abraham. Okay. להתראות.